All right, so welcome back to the channel. I just had a pretty interesting conversation with a guy named David. We were just talking about artificial intelligence and how much has changed. He said he was like 50 something years old and he has 7 kids. And we just picked up his mom who just had dialysis at the Davita Kidney Center. So, overall, really interesting conversation. We talked a lot about, oh man, what's going on here? Oh, there's a lot of people here. Oh, I guess I need to wait. We talked a lot about life and innovation and the rate of change, all of these interesting topics. Oh, all right, let me go around. There's a trash truck that is all right. But yeah, life is interesting. So I just dropped this guy off and let's see how much I made so far from it. $21. So far I made $21.91. Not bad, not bad. So 2 trips. So that's pretty good. So far this week, made $263.78. Not bad. Monday was the bulk of that. So the goal today is to make $200. Let's see if that's possible. But yeah, I gotta pick up my wife later. And yeah, the cool thing about Uber and Lyft is you get to meet so many interesting people from all over the world. That guy was really nice. He was a fun dude. Uh, a bit, I guess you can call it a bit cynical and a bit, uh, I would say afraid of the future and what might happen. But nice dude. Clearly, he loves his mom, and it's always beautiful to see when their kids when kids love their parents is always adorable. And he said he loved being a father. That was amazing. I always love hearing that. It's always refreshing. It's always it's always inspiring when you hear how much they love being a parent. That's that definitely makes me all warm and fuzzy. All right, so let's see what we got. We got 10% bonus turbo, which means because it's busier, you get a lot of. Let's see what time my wife is getting off. Oh, okay. Let's see. Connect, yeah. Uber to. Okay. Guess we'll just wait. Sometimes, depending on the time of the day, you do have to wait for rides. So today I did a LinkedIn Live. Oh, today, dude, now that I'm thinking about today was a real productive day in terms of content. I made a content on how to get 100,000 views on your newsletter, and I think that went pretty well. That was probably one of the most confident I've ever been in terms of just doing a LinkedIn Live. Most of my LinkedIn Lives have been getting anywhere from 100 to 300 views. So that's been cool to be able to practice public speaking and being able to, if you can add value to the LinkedIn community, which is arguably like the most successful community from a business context, then it certainly helps you gain credibility and build your brand. Because if you could do it on LinkedIn where people have money, then that that just makes life a lot easier from a business standpoint. Let me. Oh, okay, let me save my friend's phone number. Oh, I got a ride! Yay! Let's see where it is. Oh, Hyundai dealership. Okay. Alright, when that happens, I should turn off my Lyft, or my Uber, so I'm not getting 2 rides. Okay, Hyundai dealership. So let me just type in route 1 Hyundai. There you go. 2.2 miles. 7 minutes. Okay, cool. So I'm picking someone up from the car dealership. I noticed that's a very common, I mean, it makes sense. Either they're getting their car fixed or they, yeah, have car, whatever it is. Anyways, what was I saying? So the the LinkedIn Live I just did was about basically how do I write more authentic, how do I write more frequently and not be afraid to be a content creator? Like, how do I add value? Like, what do I even know what to write about? So that was a really good one. So I'll upload it on YouTube shortly. Luckily, because of AI, it helps me do a summary, so that makes life so much easier because then I don't even have to spend time to write the context. I can just copy and paste stuff in AI, use it as like baseline, and add a little bit more if I want to. Oh man, I still need to. So this was a good question, right? Because when I spoke to one of my friends earlier today, he he said, hmm, he said that there's so what's the balance between over tracking your time management versus having flexibility and freedom, right? Is it possible to over track, like over, or is it better to be track everything and then that way there's accountability, right? What's that tricky balance? I personally think that it's important to track, but I don't think you should overdo it because then there's a lot of pressure and it's very stressful. And what's the difference between ego and being able to add value, right? Like confidence and ego. Because I do think having ego isn't necessarily a bad thing because ego allows you to create and you know, Tony Robbins and all these amazing people, they're able to create so many different things because they have a vision. But how do you know if it's coming from like genuine, I just want to serve as many people as possible versus like, hey, I'm doing this for the likes and all that good stuff? Who knows, right? It's hard to really know. All right, so I'm 3 minutes away from the next person. If you're watching this, let me know what country you're watching from. I'm always curious to see where my viewers are from. And it seems so far, it seems like India is winning in terms of having the most people. So if you're a subscriber, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for making this possible. I love making content, so when there's people here to support, it always makes me happy that um, people are, because at the end of the day, if no one's watching, then I'm not able to leave my legacy. So let's do it. All right, let's see. Almost Friday. Just a quick reminder. See you tomorrow for dinner drinks at 6, dinner at 7, Broadway. This is a walk up. Don't forget to bring your favorite drinks and desserts to share. So I have my first meeting with Provisors is tomorrow. I'm excited. Attached is the updated photo list for tomorrow. Have your calendars available. Oh, okay, cool. So Provisors is a networking community for partners of management consulting law firms and accounting firms and financial services firms. So it's a good referral network. You can get a lot of business that way. So I'm excited for it. I was My friend Aaron Holtzman was the guy who introduced me to it. So I should let him know as well since I just recently joined. Good dude. Okay. All right, we're almost at Route 1 Hyundai. Show you guys. Look at it, the beautiful clouds. Man, it looks a lot cloudier on the phone than it does in real life. That's what I just realized. I think this might be my first time picking someone up from the Hyundai dealership. We'll see how it goes. This guy's name is I don't even know. Alright, let's certified pre-owned. Ah, there you go. Maya. Hello.
I didn't know how to open the door.
I know a lot of people don't. Sweet.
Yeah.
You're the right person, right?
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure.
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure.
Okay.
So I know this is pretty random, but I usually I'll interview people that I drive
Okay.
to just to spread more positivity and joy in the world and stuff like that. So
Okay.
would you be okay with this?
I mean, it's already on.
Well,
So, like,
I could turn it off, you know. It's yeah, it's
um,
up to you.
it's fine. I don't just don't ask me no crazy questions.
Crazy
I'm
questions.
tired.
Oh, you just got out of work.
Yeah.
Nice. That would be chill. Be more
Okay.
just conversational.
Okay.
Cool. So I'm sure no one has ever done this before, right?
No.
That's what everyone says. They're like, oh, like no one has ever interviewed me before on Uber ride.
Right? But I mean, like, it gives you something to do, so that's
Yeah,
cool.
yeah. And then sometimes you get questions from people who are watching
Uh-huh.
because it's like a live stream. So
How many people are in your views right now?
right now there's only one, but
Oh, okay, okay.
but usually there's like on average 6 to 7 if I was to
Yeah, like once
see.
you keep going, you know, like you'll get your views up.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like
You'll be
consistency.
like the Uber driver, like viral guy on TikTok. You know, maybe you should do it on TikTok.
Yeah, yeah. I'm trying to build more of that TikTok.
Yeah, that'd be
I
nice.
have right now like LinkedIn and YouTube is where I have most of the people, and Instagram.
Uh-huh.
TikTok I'm still new, like relatively new, so I haven't quite like cracked that yet.
Right.
But you need at least 1,000 to be able to live stream on TikTok.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Like 1,000 followers?
Yeah, 1,000
You gotta
followers.
start pressing random people.
Well, I don't.
Just like
So that's the thing, like,
have them follow you back.
like half the people on TikTok that are like, I think I'm around like 500 something. Half of them are random. Like, there's like, I
Yeah.
don't even know who they are.
It's always the strangers that will support you before
Yeah.
close people.
I know, right? What's up with
I
that?
don't know why.
It's weird.
Like, it's like that though. So like.
It's so true. Like on the live stream, like there's maybe like 8 or 9 people who are like always here, like always consistent.
Uh-huh.
And I pretty much never see any of like my friends' friends. I always see
Just strangers.
Yeah, and maybe once every 10 live streams, I'll see a friend. They're like, "Oh, what's up, man? Like it's been a while."
Uh-huh.
But usually it's strangers. Yeah.
Wow.
Because I think they're just more curious, or
So like see what you're doing. And
yeah,
once they see what you're doing, they go off.
yeah, and then they like
don't
it.
stay.
Yeah,
Like,
it's interesting.
so maybe you just gotta like ask yourself like, what can I do to get the people watching? Like,
Well,
what can I
to your
add?
point, like I guess because I've been super consistent, like every day is a little bit more.
Yeah.
So now, like before when I first started, there weren't as many comments, and now, like some live streams, I'll get like 300 comments. You know,
Wow.
yeah, it's crazy. But that's only if I'm like live streaming for like 5 hours.
Right.
You know, but and then there's like to your point, there's like maybe a handful of people who are like asking a ton of questions. They're like, oh, like, can you ask her this or blah blah blah, and then so that part's always interesting.
Yeah, that's fine.
But it's like hit or miss.
It is a hit or miss, but like once, like you said, like once you stay consistent and you do it all the time, and like you start to brainstorm and like
it's crazy. Like some days I'll get like thousands of views.
And then other days are like different.
Yeah, some days, and then some days it's like only 100 views, but still,
Oh wow.
at least 100 is better than nothing.
No, literally. That's
Yeah.
Cool. I mean, I go on live sometimes, but
Oh,
it
yeah?
wouldn't be like that though. Like.
What do you go on usually?
Like Instagram live.
Oh, okay.
I never really started to like. I do want to like start making more TikToks so people can like like see.
Yeah.
But right now, like you said, I'm more familiar with Instagram than TikTok.
Yeah.
The same way too.
I think our generation's more like Instagram.
Yeah, but like TikTok is where it's at. Like,
Yo, people love TikTok.
And you're viral.
It's crazy.
Knows you, you know what I mean?
Yeah, TikTok is definitely But
place.
but the only thing I don't like about TikTok is like it's a little too ADD for me. Like
Yeah, like it's really techy. Like you gotta know what you're doing. Like,
yeah,
you know,
and
like you
it's
gotta
like
know
more
how to.
unforgiving too. Like
Yeah.
if your video sucks, like
The world's gonna eat you up and spit you out.
yeah,
Like they're
it's different.
judgmental on TikTok.
Yeah.
Like the comments be like funnier than the
Oh
videos
yeah.
sometimes.
I know.
Like, you know.
The comment section sometimes is like, oof, it's a
But you
lot.
could turn your comment sections off.
Yeah, but
So
still.
people, but like you want the comments because
Yeah.
that's what people like to read. You
Yeah,
know?
exactly. And that helps people stay on your videos longer too.
Yeah. So it's like it's a lot more with TikTok, but TikTok is the easiest way though.
Yeah, I
It
think
is.
I think TikTok's like I kind of have to go on it because if I want to eventually attract like a younger audience, I'm gonna have to.
They're gonna be on there.
Yeah.
Like they're gonna be on there. Trust me. Like all it takes is one video. Once your one video is off the ground, you already have that open opportunity to take that and run with it. You know.
So my one friend, he makes like $3,000. Like on a good
Big
month,
video.
he can make 1,000. Well, a month like usually, but he makes at least $1,000 every month from TikTok
Oh wow.
just from making videos.
And that's just like imagine if when he keeps going.
Yeah,
And,
exactly.
Like, keeps evolving and like the more money he'll make.
Yeah, it's
That's
crazy.
that could be you. Like, it will be you. Like who knows? I might scroll on TikTok and see you one day. Like I'll be like, oh, that's my favorite one day.
Yeah, you never know, right? Because some of these
You really
people,
never know.
like I'm sure everyone's heard of like Daniel Mack. He's like he has like a pretty like. Have you heard of this guy, Daniel Mack? He does this. It's so simple, but it's genius. He gets like so many views. He'll interview like he'll look at people that have really nice cars like Lamborghinis and Ferraris, and then he'll be
Like, oh, I do this, I do that.
yeah, and
blah, blah,
he
blah.
gets insane amount of views. It's crazy, but he's like world famous now. I feel like almost
No, he
everyone
is.
knows him.
But that's because he goes up to strangers.
Yeah, and he's been doing it for a long time too, I'm sure.
But you also got to realize that he started at the bottom.
Yeah, I'm
So,
sure in the
like-
beginning, no one was really watching it.
Yeah, they were probably like, yo, this weird ass dude, like, coming up to me, like, asking me these questions and stuff. But now
Yeah.
that's so common, like, you have people in Walmart, people
Yeah.
drive-throughs, like, you know, the mall.
Yeah.
So, like, yours is like, you're an Uber driver, so that's like, you're not really going up to people, the people are kind of coming.
I know it's almost like you said, people are kind of like, oh, I guess I'll say yes. Like this one dude called me out on it. He's like, I'm not like everyone else. Like I'm not.
What?
He's like, no, like
Yeah, you're
no.
gonna get those type of
Yeah,
people,
but that was
like,
only one out of like 300 so far have said that.
Oh, okay.
Like for the most part, everyone's like, yeah, sure.
Yeah, because like, who cares? Like, life is short. Like, let's just have fun, you know? Then
Yeah.
you have the stuck-up people that are like,
Well, with some people is because like you know we live around a lot of like Spanish speaking people too. So some
Uh-huh.
people they just don't even speak English.
yeah, they don't know what you're saying.
Yeah, but so
You're
that's always
asking them
funny.
to do.
Because then it's like I'm trying to communicate and then I'm like, I'll play Daddy Yankee on the and then like it's bad. Like I'm like this is
They're
embarrassing.
like, please stop, sir.
But
Like, just
but
stop.
they're funny because like sometimes they'll still communicate and they'll look it up on like Google Translate.
Oh yeah.
And then
I
like
had
I'm
that
like
at my job.
this is hilarious right now.
I had someone do that at my job the other day. Like she
Oh,
came in
wow.
for like an interview and I didn't know what she needed, and she literally like looked it up on her phone, and I'm like, technology.
Yeah, I mean it's cool that we can do that now.
It is
Before
cool.
we weren't even able to.
We would just be like, does someone
It's
know
like
how to?
no hable español.
Right, like the best of our ability.
Yeah.
That's actually really funny.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah, I definitely believe in you. I think you could definitely go far with this.
Aw.
Like, just brainstorm a whole bunch of ideas and like just
Well,
get creative and funny. For
You know what's
it.
smart? Like whenever I crowdsource the questions, I'm like, oh, like I'm about to go. Like, what question should I ask people? And then that's when there's more engagement because then people are like, oh, you should ask this and this.
Mhm.
So that's always smart. Like, so I'll use Facebook as a way of like getting questions,
Oh yeah.
and then people will be like, oh, like, what about this question? And then I'll post a video
Uh-huh.
usually, and then.
Or you could put like a poll on your Instagram.
Oh,
story,
yeah,
like, what
yeah.
should I do next? And like people will just give you the ideas. You know.
True.
So like.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, like you could just. It's crazy.
Yeah, there's a lot of creativity out there, but
Mhm.
It's also it's tough because it's so competitive too.
It
Because
is.
there are a lot of really good
Like you gotta be more creative, more funnier, more
something different.
yeah, like something like no one's doing, like something that's not
That's why like,
trending
even with
yet.
this, I'm like I don't think I've never seen anyone do this.
No, I
And
don't think so either. Like I've seen like Uber videos, like where they do like pranks on the Uber driver
oh
or whatever, like act like they're canceling the ride, like mid, like stuff
oh
like that. But I've never seen like Q&A like in a car ride.
yeah, true.
So,
It, and you know how I got this idea? Because I used to watch a show where like they would go into the taxi and
uh-huh.
then play like trivia,
Oh wow.
and then they won money from like the taxi driver.
Oh
So I'm
wow.
like, what? That's crazy. Oh, that actually, yeah, but you would, I think you need to have like a bankroll to be able to do that, but that would be
Probably.
pretty dope too, actually, like if you did that
Yeah.
for money.
And you could just have
But
like the screens like, like behind the chair and stuff like that.
yeah. Oh
So they could
yeah.
just answer the questions while you like ask and they answer it on like the iPad or something like that.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of creative people out there for sure.
Yeah, you definitely got to get your editing skills up. That's like
I
the
know. That's the
hardest.
hardest thing
That's
though.
the hardest. Like, cause
Th-
me myself, like, I wanted to do YouTube. Like, I wanted to like vlog and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
I can't edit to save
I
my
know.
life.
Some
So
and it just
like,
takes a while to edit
it
too.
does, and that's like a commitment. Like, that's like a full time
Yo,
job.
seriously. Some
like
people they spend like 30 hours editing one video.
one
It's
video for
insane.
like 30 minutes.
But then that video gets like a million views though because
Right.
they just put so much time into it.
And they get the money for it. And it's like, yeah, it's like you have to lose sleep and all, but like you got paid like, a
Yeah,
rack.
yeah, there was a girl who I think her name is like Elizabeth like Phillips or something like that, but
Uh-huh.
she spends because thumbnails on YouTube is so important, right? She
Yes, for
spends
sure.
she'll make 82 like thumbnails because she's and then she'll like overthink it and she'll be like this is the right one because she's like a perfectionist.
So she makes multiple to see which one she likes.
Hmm.
That's actually really
And,
crazy.
and then what she does is like she'll pull up her thumbnail like she'll like kind of like snip it, cut it, and then
Uh-huh.
she'll go onto like the YouTube for you page, and she'll put it up next to all her favorite YouTubers, and she'll be like, "Oh, which ones stand out? Like how like
Like
if
which
it's
one looks
against
different? Like,
yeah, what looks different?" And then she'll be like, "Ah, interesting," and then she'll be able to like change sometimes like a different facial expression, and so
oh,
she'll analyze like the crap out of it,
oh my
and
god.
then like every like couple hours she'll switch to a different thumbnail, and then she'll see which one will make her spike. And then once it spikes up a little bit more than normal, she'll be like, okay, this is it. And it's like, yeah, it's insane.
That's dedication.
Yeah,
Oh my god.
but that's how she got like she
Money.
went from like you know like 500 subscribers to like a million subscribers in like a couple years.
Oh wow.
Yeah, but it's like people like that. Like I'm like, okay, you win. Like
No, like
it's
she
like
wins
it's
for
like
sure.
I'm not that like I like it, but I'm
Yeah,
not that committed. You
like
know.
I would do it and I'd be like, all right, this is it. Like you know what I
Hmm.
mean? Like take it or leave it type
Yeah.
of deal. But some people like when they make the thumb, like the thumb, whatever,
Yeah.
like they do it like not accurate to the video.
Hmm.
Like they'll be like, oh, like watch me do this, and then the video will be like completely different. Like them just rambling on the
Like clickbait, you're saying?
yeah, you know what I mean? Like this
Yeah.
to draw your attention, but as
Yeah.
you're watching it, you're like, okay, when is this gonna happen? Because I said it. Like,
Mm.
so like it's a lot.
Yeah, I
Like,
know.
'cause you don't know who's like real and who's pretending.
Yeah.
That's the only difference. Like if you were to ever get into that lifestyle, you want to
Hmm.
be yourself as much as
Mm.
possible. Because that's what people like.
So-
They like people who are real.
That's why I like live streaming better because technically you don't have to edit as much.
Yeah, like this
Like
is
just a
just
thumbnail.
it. Like yeah, like this is it.
And
This is
and I think that's why once I figured that out, I'm like, oh, it's like live streaming is actually better for me because
Mhm.
when I tried to edit, like I was just horrible at it, and I would spend all this time, and it wouldn't even get like that much more. Versus like when I live stream, I'm like, well, in the beginning you're like kind of second guessing yourself because you're like self conscious, and you're like, oh my god, like why are people watching? But then eventually you get used to it, and then you're just like, oh, like, and then you kind of let down your guard, and then you're like, oh, I could just be myself instead of like,
literally. As if you were
yeah,
just like talking to yourself.
yeah.
Basically.
I know it is weird. It is kind of weird that you're talking to yourself.
I cook for
sometimes.
myself all the time, so then now you just get paid for it. So that's
Yeah.
great. Like, imagine, like,
And then how I started doing a lot of this is like Facebook just started paying me one day, and I was like,
what?
what? I was like, you can get paid on Facebook? Like, I didn't even
Oh yeah,
know.
you can get paid on anything
And then
nowadays.
I was just like, oh, cool. And then the first month they paid me, I was like, I got $100 from just posting on Facebook. Like, that's crazy. And then that's what planted
Wow,
the seed. I was like, okay, I need to like do this. This can be like,
something different.
mm-hmm.
Like, that's good though. Like, you take passion in it, you enjoy it, you have fun,
Yeah,
and then like the more you do, the more you grow, and then like who knows where you'll be.
yeah.
Like, there's this girl, like she's a YouTuber now,
Mm-hmm.
and she went to Rutgers. Like, she lived right here in New Brunswick. She went to
Mm-hmm.
Rutgers, and now she has her own brand. She models for like certain people. She's like
Oh,
out with celebrities
you
and
know
stuff
her?
like that.
Like, did you know her?
No, I didn't know her, but like I followed her when she wasn't like as hot as she was. You know,
Oh.
like I followed her when she was just an average person,
Oh, wow.
and like she was doing her little YouTube videos, but
Hmm.
she grew so much by just being consistent and like being
Wow.
herself and stuff like that,
Hmm.
that she's like top notch. Like she's up there with all the influencers and stuff.
Wow.
And I'm like, she came from like the same town as me,
Huh.
so if she could do it, I could do it. You know.
Yeah.
So it's very motivating seeing like the
Hmm.
people from like where you grew
Yeah.
up at, like do big things.
Mm.
Yeah, this is my mom. She has no idea this is me.
Oh.
But it was nice speaking to you.
Yeah,
though.
likewise.
I hope to
Best
see
of
you
luck.
soon.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Hey, Mom.
Cool. That was cool. So that was nice. She was really nice. Uh, that was cool. That man, I love this job, dude. Definitely gonna be doing this for quite some time until I have kids, and then my wife is like, "Come home, babe." All right. So that was really cool. Had a great conversation. And that's so funny. I just drove past one of my friends, this guy that I used to go to CrossFit with, and then I just waved to him. That was interesting. Yeah, making content is weird because you're kind of like talking to yourself. And then I just found out that when I do the live stream, oh, I got a ride. Yay. 7-minute trip.
Head to your pickup at 18 Trestle Way.
Trestle Way. Okay, let's see. How far away is this? Oh, super close. Let me type it in the GPS. 18 Trestle. Wait, 18 Trestle Way, 4.5 miles. Okay, cool. Where am I? Turning left. Yeah. So, yeah, what she said, dude, it's so true. Like a lot of these like influencers, they're sometimes they're not even that special, but they're just sheer consistency and just sheer hustle. And some of it is timing as well, right? If you get in at the right time, it helps. Or like if TikTok is big now, obviously
Turn right on US Highway
in
130.
in 10 years it's probably gonna be a lot harder to be like TikTok famous versus like if you started right when it came out, right? As it gets more competitive. But yeah, TikTok's an interesting one. That's one that I still haven't managed to crack yet. But once it gets good, shit, I might start live streaming on TikTok too. Depending on how well it pays me. But so far, I think YouTube is the one that pays the best, so that's why I'm doubling down on YouTube. But TikTok is a pretty close second on what a lot of these creator communities are saying. TikTok is pretty solid just because of the sheer volume, right? Yeah, I love how I'm just eating snacks all day. Man, I gotta start wearing. It's kind of cold. Okay, there you go. Um, there you go. So the next person I'm picking up is named SM. She got a 4.91 rating out of 5, so not bad. But let's see. What else is interesting to talk about? So, oh yeah. What, dude? What? I keep getting all these random ass like messages. You know, it's a scam because no one types this proper. They said, "Hello, long time no see. Do you remember me? Do you remember? I hope we can communicate happily." Like, who talks like that? Like, that sounds so bot-ish. It's frustrating, man. Nowadays, with like automation and all this crap, there's just like not a lot of thoughtfulness in outreach, and it's a shame because it's making like marketing sales look bad, you know. But it is what it is. I get it too, man. We've all been lazy. We've all sent generic outreach before, especially if you're in sales. We've all have done it. But man, like, I don't know, man. It's frustrating. Okay, so let me see what's good. What's good on my news feed? Anything interesting to talk about? So, what? Who's this random person? Oh, melatonin. So I wrote a post on what are things to help you sleep better. Because I was telling people like, oh, this is like the first time I've got on average 7 hours of sleep in a whole week. Like I don't think that's ever happened ever in my life. So I posted about that, and then my one friend said melatonin, indica gummy, magnesium, best sleep ever, room darkening shades, real cool temps, white noise, ASMR, rain or thunder. Oh, interesting. That's cool. And then he posted products, blah blah blah. Okay, yeah, everything else is just cool.